Welcome, everyone, to this One Utah conversation. I am Pete Codella, the Managing Director of Business Services in the Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity. We are hosting this video series to talk with our partners and sponsors of the One Utah Summit, which is Governor Cox's Business Summit in Northern Utah and Rural Summit at Southern Utah University, happening every spring and fall. I'd like to introduce Symbol Arts as our One Utah Diamond Partner for the Northern and Southern Summits, and Greg Sanders, who's the CEO. So, Greg, you want to introduce yourself?
Thank you. Pleasure to join with you, Pete. I'm Greg Sanders, as mentioned, the CEO of Symbol Arts based here in Ogden, Utah.
And we have a couple clients of Symbol Arts on, and also our partner with the summit down in Southern Utah. Chuck, let's go to you at the Ogden-Weber Chamber.
Thanks so much. Chuck Leonhardt, President and CEO of the Ogden-Weber Chamber of Commerce, and fantastic opportunity for us to, anytime we get a chance to support Symbol Arts and the great work they do, and of course, the Governor's Office, we're happy to do that. So great to be with you.
Stephen, you probably don't need an introduction to this audience, given your long history with the summit, but tell us who you are, what you do.
Pete, good to be here. So, Senior Advisor of Rural Affairs to Governor Cox, and Assistant Vice President to Mindy Benson at Southern Utah University. And with both roles, have been a part of hosting the Rural Summit and making that transition to be a bookend partner in the One Utah Summit model. And glad to be here, Pete.
Thank you. We appreciate all of you joining us. And we'll have a short conversation about our partnership with Symbol Arts and kind of the work that they do here in the state and around the world, really. So with that, Greg, why were you interested in becoming a One Utah Diamond Partner? What's in that for Symbol Arts?
Myriad reasons, really. Let me just start with this. First of all, born and raised in Utah, so I'm a Utahn through and through. Grew up in Davis County and still reside there. So my love for the state, really, I don't think there's a better place anywhere to reside and live and raise a family than Utah. And then second, as it relates to the summit, just the fact that we've been very fortunate in that we've been a very successful growing company. And I think with that comes an obligation and a responsibility, really, to give back to the community, and where we do business throughout the state of Utah and beyond, nationally and even internationally. It really gives us an opportunity to give back in some way. This is, as you know, a service-oriented state, and we've been reared that way. At least I have, and I believe you have too. And this feeling of giving back is really inbred within me. So that's an opportunity. I appreciate, too, the relationships that can be cultivated. I don't think there's anything more enjoyable than doing business with people that you know and respect and learn from and that are like-minded. And so part of the reason is to just deepen relationships throughout the state of Utah. And that happened in rural Utah, where I wouldn't have had that opportunity otherwise. And so I was incredibly grateful for that. And then there's a lot of success, obviously, going on in Utah. We know that Utah's really kind of number one right now. We think that can stay for a long time. And part of our responsibility, or part of what we do for our clients and our partners and those that we do business with, is we help them celebrate their successes and recognize the good that they're doing by enhancing with some of our products those very opportunities and accomplishments.
And those products are meant to be keepsakes, recognition things. Talk about your products a little bit.
Well, we do. We're known mostly for, particularly in the corporate industry, of challenge coins, which have become very popular in the corporate world. Started in the military. There you go.
I've got a few back there.
We'll continue to add to that collection, and they're a very collective item. But we really help celebrate our moments, and so as an example, at the summit, the Rural One Utah Summit, all of the participants received a challenge coin, which would be this is a public safety challenge coin, but you can kind of get an idea. And so we do a lot of challenge coins. We do pins, and I think, Pete, you're wearing one of those that we did with the Utah flag. the new Utah flag. We do a lot of patches. So we do a lot of public safety for police, fire, sheriff. So all of their badges, all of their patches, their recognition items we provide. We do race medals for Ragnar and beyond. But we do a lot of corporate business. So again, patches, pins, coins, medallions, belt buckles, almost anything associated with metal. We also do these kinds of products too, but this really isn't custom as much as somebody wants to believe it is. This is just embellishment or decorating. This item existed, and then it was enhanced with an embellishment. In this case, this logo. But the coin, if I could show you one. So this is the original piece, or the starting piece of the coin. It's just a piece of brass that's stamped on both sides. Goes through about 17 steps, and then it comes out like this.
Cool.
So this did not exist until we made it. So it's not decorative. Chuck knows this. We say all the time, we sell something that doesn't exist. And so that's what we really enjoy, is somebody comes to us with a concept, or they have an idea or something they want to celebrate. They don't know where to start. We take it from start to finish. Those are our primary products. Anything that we can do to, again, help celebrate success and moments.
Stephen, let's go over to you for a minute. Greg pointed to his One Utah Summit jacket, which I know you're the mastermind behind. And I think you also get credit for bringing Symbol Arts in to the One Utah Summit and helping make them a diamond partner. So talk about the types of things that you've done at the summit and why this partnership is important.
Thanks, Pete. One of the things that's important to this convening with the One Utah Summit is to showcase the best of what Utah has to all the rural communities, whether it be industry leaders, government leaders, nonprofit, education leaders. Help them see the options and potential that they have to participate in, so that they can return to their communities and deploy these strategies, these relationships, these opportunities in their communities to continue supporting their thriving communities and their growth opportunities with it. So, as we try to take a stewardship of bringing the best to the table for them, we look for Utah partners to do that. And there is a special experience that happens when you participate in an event or a competition or a convening that allows you to walk away with something that's a collectible, and now it provokes some emotion. It reminds you of the experience. It inspires you to continue to act on what you learned at that experience. And so we were looking for a partner that could be that for us. And, actually Greg and I connected because he had some interaction with Lieutenant Governor. Yeah. And she had spoken so highly about that experience her team had. I jumped right on that and reached directly out to Greg and team. And it's interesting because when we started talking with Greg and his team about the potential, the touch points continued to grow, right? So we wanted every participant to feel like a VIP, to have a diamond experience. And so we created it for the first time ever for us, a collectible, right, with a coin for every participant. And that was unique and new, and it's expensive. Okay. And so, that was a new thing that we brought on. And then to think about it takes about 100 partners and sponsors and entities to come together to lift an event like this. And so we began a process to recognize them, and Greg's team said, "Hey, you're going to have a breakfast with this group to thank them and to recognize them. Could we be a part of a special numbered coin for them?" Whoa, okay, that's a game changer, right? Because now it's 100 coins that are collectible with numbered. That's it, one and done, never going to happen again. And it's in a box. That creates an increased appreciation level for those who are part of this. And then, Greg, let me share. This is probably one of the coolest experiences is, the State Bank Business Challenge, the competition of our future business opportunities is a highlight of the summit. And Greg's team got very innovative and came up with some strategies and ideas to create a medallion, kind of like a marathon winner might have.
Yeah.
And now they're winning these like they finished a marathon. And so creating these experiences is important, helping everybody in rural Utah know they're important, and they have partners in Utah that can help them. And Symbol Arts is that type of partner. And they're here in Utah. They're invested into the quality of life in Utah. And now, I think 1,200 registrations were printed, or picked up. So 1,200 people had access to see Symbol Art as a partner. And so it was an incredible experience, and it's one we hope continues for a long time.
I was with Lieutenant Governor Henderson at Symbol Arts in South Ogden earlier this year when she visited, and I accompanied. And it was fun to be back in my old stomping grounds. I actually served an ecclesiastical mission in the Utah Ogden mission, which most people wouldn't think that would be the case, but I was from upstate New York at the time, so had a great experience in that area. And Greg's got a great business there and a great team. It was fun to meet them. Can we go to Chuck and maybe have you talk about how the Ogden-Weber Chamber partners with Symbol Arts and how that helps your members, your businesses?
I have really enjoyed everything that we have to do with Symbol Arts. It's been just such a great partnership for many, many years, actually. And we have a great tradition and heritage in the Chamber of Commerce of recognizing and celebrating. And the better that we get at doing that, the more connection and camaraderie and the work that seems to get done, it becomes stronger and becomes more dynamic and more alive. And so the better we get at doing the recognition and the celebration of success, the better we are as a community. And this is something that I guess might be inherent with a Chamber of Commerce. I don't know if it is across the board, but it seems like it is. And it certainly is with this area in the Ogden-Weber Chamber. And so ever since we've been partners with Greg, and it's been I've been with the Chamber almost 9 years, and Greg and I have been working together ever since that time starting. And it's just one of those things that we rely on, Symbol Arts creativity, innovation, and what they deliver, because they help us with all of those things. And I'll give you a couple of examples on how they do that, because it's really quite cool.
Great.
Many of them are Greg's ideas, and it's and his team. They're always thinking outside the box and coming to us with solutions that we haven't thought of before. And, there's not a lot of companies that do that, that can come forward and bring you ideas to the table and help your business grow the way that Symbol Arts does. And I really appreciate that. The creativity and the thought that goes into the end product is the best part about it. It's that creation. It's the thought process behind it, and how thinking about the end, what's the end goal? And there always is an end goal with this, especially when it's building partnerships. It's building a stronger community. It's celebrating success that spurs more success. And that's really at the core of what Symbol Arts has done for us as a Chamber of Commerce. And it's been just great. And so the examples I was going to refer to is one of which we have we have a great tradition in our Chamber of Commerce of our ambassadors wear pins on their jackets, and we have black jackets, and they're called the spikers. The spikers go out to ribbon cuttings, and they go to groundbreakings and other.
Where does the name come from?
Spikers come from what you might expect, the golden spike.
The golden spike.
Our railroad history and the cornerstone crossroads of the West here in Ogden, and so the spikers are just part of that. And a matter of fact, there's a ribbon cutting going on right at this very instant with one of our school districts, and they're out, and we have members of our chamber out in force representing them, and they're wearing their black jackets, and they come and they have pins on there, and our community kind of has this celebration of giving pins back and forth, and it's very similar to the coins. We give pins as well, and it's the pins, have their company logo on it, and so we represent so many organizations. Our chamber's about 900 member organizations strong, and so it's a way to celebrate our chamber members and the unity that we have in our community, in our business community. And so Greg helps us produce those pins and comes up with something, again, that hasn't been produced before and creates that. Greg has done, like you guys have talked and demonstrated, we have our own challenge coin for the Chamber of Commerce. And it didn't exist before, and the thought process on what that looks like and how it represents our community, Symbol Arts developed that for us. And we just sat down and gave a couple of ideas, and then bam, idea come forward, and a product resulted from it. And it's just super, super fun, and we've been able to give that coin out. Just recently, I guess last summer, Greg's team came to us and said, hey, Christmas is, going to be around the corner. And I'm thinking, Christmas? What? Christmas is coming? This is in the middle of summer. We're golfing. Greg's team says, hey, let us help you with some celebration of your board of governors and some of your leaders at that time that we have on our executive board. And said, that'd be great. How do we do that? And they wanted to produce an ornament for us. And I took some ideas back and just gave them a couple of thoughts, and they came back again. Bam, another idea, and they produced a beautiful ornament. And I wish I'd been thinking, Greg, I'd have all of this stuff lined up for it.
Greg, do you have something to show us, Greg?
Well, I was just you said spikers, so this is for the 150th.
Nice.
A lot of products again to celebrate that. So there's kind of a representative of or replication of this golden spike that was driven for the 150th. So.
Chuck and Stephen, you've both said things that I just want to highlight, recognition and celebration and something that's unique. I feel like those words describe, Greg, what you do at Symbol Arts. Do you have maybe an example of something that you've created for a client that you'd like to share?
Well, we do about 2,400 custom projects a month.
Wow.
That we're trying to deliver for an event. So it's a lot of balls in the air. And we've done something for virtually every Fortune 500 company, most of the Disney and all of those. But some of the fun things that we've done some coins for, we did a Super Bowl coin as an example for the toss and some of those kinds of things. When Breaking Bad, the TV series, was raging, they created a collector's set for their DVD series each season, and then commissioned us to make a custom coin based on the characters, which we did. And each year they would release a different collector's set with a collectible coin. And they did that for 7 or 8 years. And it became a real effort by those who were faithful watchers of that series to collect all of those coins. So it was really a genius strategy. We did the products, and they loved it so much that when the series ended, the producer commissioned us to make a custom coin that was available only to the staff and actors and production team.
Cool.
Breaking Bad. And so that was a project that was kind of fun. But we do so many different things. They're all fun, really, because of what they do, what they mean to people. And while we sell what I mentioned, these particular products and items, when we talk around here, we really say what we actually sell is an experience. And as you think about that, when somebody gets the product they commissioned us to do and opens that box, they're going to have an experience. It's either going to be a poor experience or they're going to have a great experience. But any way you look at it, they're going to have some kind of an experience. And so what we try to ensure, our primary core value is diamond quality, that they have this diamond quality experience, not only when they open the box, not only when they hold the product, but when the way we answer the phone, how quickly we return an email, how we treat one another internally. That's a big part of what we do. And so, so that's allowed us, as we've pulled that together, to really have some really wonderful experiences with some people we just wouldn't dream that we do. We've had our coins featured in some movies where they called and asked if they could, got permission. We'd sign the rights away for use in that coin or in that movie. And that's been a fun experience. I think I even have, thought I got the DVD here. I don't see it, but just a fabulous production where the coin was so meaningful in the story structure, a true story. Yet it had such an impact that they asked if they could use that coin. So we do religious coins. We get comments all the time, and a difficult time in somebody's life where that coin, as you know, oftentimes they're displayed, but very frequently they're carried in a pocket. And in a difficult moment in life, somebody reaches into their pocket and finds this coin that reminds them that they matter. They're important. They're part of something. And we receive emails over and over again about the impact that has had in a difficult moment in life. So what we do ultimately becomes so fulfilling because it makes such a difference in people's life. It's not just a piece of metal. It means something and it impacts lives in a favorable.
I love that you've talked about experiences. And for the One Utah Summit, with our partnership with Symbol Arts, for the first time this coming spring, 2024, we'll have that medallion, for our Startup State Entrepreneur Challenge participants. And we'll have a coin for the people who come to the event. And you're also doing the Governor's Awards for Business Person of the Year, Business of the Year, International Business of the Year, and a few other recognitions. So we really do appreciate that partnership and looking forward to how you can help us elevate that experience for everyone. So I'd like to go around with a final question and just have you share what you think the best thing is about living and working in the state of Utah. Chuck, can we start with you?
By far and away, the best part about living in Utah for me is the people. And what Greg talked about giving back and the sense of community, working with people. I grew up in Utah, been away for my career in other states and lived many years outside of the state of Utah, and just recently came back to become the president here at the chamber. And I never really appreciated how amazing the people are that live here. And they really are the salt of the earth people for the most part. We have people that just give and want to help and make life good for all those around them.
Like most things in life, we don't necessarily appreciate them until we don't have them, right?
Yeah.
Stephen, how about you? Best thing about living and working in Utah?
Well, since people's off the plate, right? Because
Chuck covered the people.
Chuck covered people. So I would probably offer that it's the approach to working together. I think that the mindset of bootstrapping, investing through sweat equity, the idea of working with others is really powerful. We see so many opportunities happen in Utah, especially with my mindset in rural Utah, when two or more people with different skill sets or different backgrounds come together and are willing to make something better happen because of that partnership. And I think that, our chambers of commerce are a really good example. Our chambers are very powerful organizations. They're very healthy throughout all of Utah. And that's what they do. They bring people together so that you can build together. And I think, Greg has demonstrated that in this process, right? We're building with Simple Arts, and we all are better because we're coming together to build together.
So people and collaboration, Greg, what's your answer?
Well, yeah, as I think about it, I like these two good people. I could say a lot of things. I just have to look out my window here. Beauty, obviously at this state, I can think of something that seems trivial, but not so much so, is the economic health of Utah, the government system that is so well run. We're number one for a reason, and there's a reason so many people are flocking to our state. They want to be a part of something that's so successful. But having said all that, people is number one on my mind, and associated with that would be culture. I just love the culture that we have here in Utah. We're the number one state in the nation, probably the number one place in the world that volunteers, that looks to help, that doesn't wait to be asked, that looks to make a difference in life. I think Stephen Covey was the one who said, life isn't about accumulation, it's about contribution. And to be surrounded by a culture that looks outward and not inward all the time is a very refreshing, maybe old-fashioned, much needed principle. And I'm just proud to be a part of a state that is not embarrassed or shamed to look outward and demonstrate, not in just word, but in the way they live their lives, that we care about one another. We want to make a difference in each other's lives.
The people, the collaboration, the culture, all great answers. I want to thank Greg Sanders, CEO of Simple Arts, Stephen Lisonbee, Associate Vice President in the Office of Regional Services at Southern Utah University, and Governor Cox's Senior Advisor for Rural Affairs, and Chuck Leonhardt, President of the Ogden-Weber Chamber of Commerce. You can learn more about the Spring One Utah Summit, which is April 11th and 12th, 2024, at oneutahsummit.utah.gov. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Pete.